cancer, stomach pain, and diabetics. I've been mixing juniper, that's with the berries, balsam with pitch, spruce boughs, and devil's club. I've been mixing those 4 ingredients in one big pot. The big pot that I use usually makes 6 to 7 jugs out of each pot that I make, and so 3 or 4 people that comes to me, I'll have enough for them. And which I said during the summer I've been really busy, and I've been going up to 24 to 30 jugs a week making for people. Number 2, the high and low blood pressure, heart attacks, clogged arteries, and cleansing of blood. What I use is wild raspberry roots, and you get these yellow willow or else devil's club and juniper and a few pieces of white poplar bark, and it's a pure white poplar. You notice when you go out you can see these really nice chalk white poplar trees, and that's the best to use with this. It's very strong, and it's been giving me good signs on the people that I've been helping with this high and low blood pressure, heart attacks, and clogged arteries is what came up the most. I've been doing the same thing in a big pot, and I'd make 6 or 7 jugs, and this doesn't take very long to boil, 3.5 hours, strained and bottled, and 1 cup per day until healed. And number 3 is the one that a lot of people were asking for, and it's an old remedy. I don't know why I never heard anybody speak of it, because it's an old remedy that's been in our family for 3 or 4 generations, and it's for the arthritis or pain in the muscles or growing pain. It's I use 1 piece of garlic, 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of pure honey, and you bring the garlic and apple cider just to a boil. You don't cook it like for hours and that. As soon as it comes to a boil, you take it off the stove and you cool it, and then you put 1 tablespoon of pure honey. And I had a good experience on this because there was a lady that was very disabled on this arthritis, and she'd been on my medicine for 2 years. I practically gave her this recipe, and I wrote one out today for someone, and within the 2 years I completely forgot about this lady, and she was very disabled. She couldn't use shoes, her toes were deformed, her fingers, and it was getting to her back where she can't sit down anymore, and they had to practically pack her around where she had to go. She's been on this for 2 years, and one day I went shopping in Fraser Lake, and this lady comes up to me, and God, is she ever pretty, I thought, and she comes right up to me and she asked, she said, "Are you Doris Thomas?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "You're the one I've been looking for 3 months." And I said, "Why?" "You're the one that gave me that old remedy of that arthritis medicine." And I said, "Oh yeah." I said, "I think I remember." And I've been getting so much clients, I told her I can't keep track of everybody, and as much as I try to keep up with my medicine, she went and gave me a nice big envelope, and I said, "What's this for?" And she said, "That's for curing me." And I looked at her, I told her, "Give me your hand," and I looked at it, and it's just back to normal like mine. She was telling me how it was healing, like when her fingers were deformed so bad. She said right in front of her whole family they'll be popping really loud, and they pop back into place. And this was happening, and the family was getting excited. She didn't even feel pain when they were popping back in. And she said the same thing happened to her toes, and her back was healed, and she has no sign of arthritis anymore. Like, she went to 3 or 4 different specialists to make sure. And when I cured her on that, I told my husband about it, and he asked me, he said, "Do you ever read the Bible?" I said, "Yeah, sometimes." He said, "Where did you miss that? That there is the same old remedy in the Bible too." about this garlic and vinegar and honey, what it does to you. And it got me thinking, so I started reading the Bible, and sure enough, this comes way back, and it could cure anything. When this lady came up to me, and no doubt my husband wasted no time, he went home and started eating garlic. I said, God, who's got bad breath? he started eating the garlic again, and I had another experience with him because I had a few bad rumors about him having TB, cancer, and they named about 5 different symptoms that he had, and that I was getting accused that my husband had. And all these years that he's been on my medicine, I got very upset. I took him to a 2-day checkup in Prince George, and we made sure we went through about 4 or 5 specialists. And each time Benny came out, he started laughing and he was really happy. There was no sign of TB, and his ticker was excellent, and no sign of cancer. And everything was excellent on him, and today he's still like that. And I was really, really upset, and I collected all these papers, and these people that were giving me the rumors, I threw it at them. I said, read this. I said, that was a specialist that gave me these results of Benny, and from today they left me alone. These medicines that I've been using here, there's number 4. For fever and cold and pneumonia, I've been using red willow and spruce boughs. You boil it like tea and just take 1 or 2 cups a day, and it puts the fever down before the night is over, and no coughs, no headaches, pneumonia cured. And this is another one that my mother had been using for ages when we were kids. I heard of red willows all around this table. I was very pleased. But the spruce boughs I've been using because it kills the fever really quick. It helps, and I've been going by what I can, and I'm still learning. I'm very pleased with what I heard around the table. It's very educating. I've got more to learn yet. Like I said, I'm very young. I only have one of my sons who's going to take my footsteps in doing the medicine, and that's the only thing I can say is try to encourage your kids to understand these medicine, because it is important. You can't tell what's going to happen to us tomorrow or the next day. You need somebody there to continue this. And it's really hard for me because when I started healing people, I spent majority of the time at home. And my family thought I was going crazy. She's a lunatic, she stays home, she doesn't do nothing. It's not that. When I do a lot of staying home, I'm staying away from the public. There is people out there that are trying to hurt you, trying to be jealous of you and hurt you back for what good you're doing for your people. They use their medicine in a wicked way. I'm sorry to say, but please don't try to use your medicine in the wrong way. It'll only backfire. This is one reason I stay home a lot. Once in a while when I feel safe to go around, and to tell you the truth, Stony Creek is majority of Benny's family, and I've been safe here. I've been lucky to take in a few bingos, but other than that I stay home and I work. I work at the sawmill, go straight home. Sometimes I just give my check to my husband and he goes where he wants to go. Staying home for people like us, like when I stay home, I feel more pure and safe, that I'm not going to do anything evil to anybody. My sister-in-law that died when she gave me her powers. It was really hard when I lost her because she taught me so much of who to trust and who not to trust. You automatically can feel it. When she said that, I didn't believe her. I didn't believe in powers, and I didn't believe in my great-grandma. But when it started happening to me in real life, it happened to me, honest to God. I feel things 2 or 3 days before I could feel it. If I'm going to be doing something to help people, I will feel it. And another best part is when I do my hand healing on someone, my hand is boiling. Like today I worked on Mary John, my hand is still burning. Honest to God, it's burning and it's sweating. Within the 2 days after I've touched someone or if I've given someone medicine, I will be sick for 2 days, and when I get sick, I know that person is healing. That's a kind of sign my grandma gave me. And this is another reason you could tell why I hardly go anywhere, because these signs come into me and it is helping. And I would like to encourage each family to please talk to some of your children that these medicine are nothing to be making fun of. It's very unique medicine that it heals us. There's plants right around us that we have no reason to go spend hundreds of dollars for a bottle of pills. I see a lot of kids on the street selling pills, $1 each, when they're walking right on the medicine themselves. Our kids are fading away from these reserves. They're not learning nothing much. Yet all the medicine we have is right around us. Like Sophie said, just reach out and you shall receive. It's a kind of expression I got from her, and I really thank her for that, because she is one very strong woman. Majority of the ladies that talk here, I was very impressed. I learn new things every day. But the medicine that I've been using, it isn't always the same. If someone's going to come up to me, I probably dream about a different medicine each day for that sickness. That's how I get. And I would just like to keep it very short, because I learned a lot. And I want to thank Stony Creek for inviting me here. My husband was very pleased that I was finally doing something about this. I will get out and try to meet most of you wherever you go and learn some more and probably teach you some of mine. My boss is not very nice, so I told him I'd be at work at 4, and it's already 5 to 4. Thank you very much for listening.
Now?
Ready? 3, 2, 1. Tell us your name.
My name is Maisie Mary Medici from Halfway River First Nation.
Okay.
And I born in Mosquito Flat, somewhere in Pink Mountain area. And I had 5 kids, 2 girls, 3 boys. I'm a grandma, 3 granddaughters. And how I started the project with the medicine is that my mom teach me a lot of good stuff before she was gone. My mom died in 87, and I learned a lot from her before she died. She teach me a lot of good stuff that I could teach my kids, my grandkids, and my my community, the whole community.
What?
I really believe in my tradition ways, because that's how I grew up. Like I grew up in the hard ways, but like my mom and them raised me hard ways. Like those days, there's no TV or truck or anything stuff like. We've been traveling with wagon and horses, and you know. Now the people, ever since the vehicle come to, the people had vehicles. They could go hunt with vehicles now, but those days, when my growing up was a hard time. My dad used a lot of dog team and team horses, saddle horses and pack horses. That's how my mom raised me. And I like the way I'm living my tradition way. It really gives me a lot of strength. I believe in my tradition way. I love it. That's why right now I'm teaching my generations how to eat those, what kind of plants we're supposed to eat, what kind is good for medicine, what kind of plants you don't have like poisonous. So that's what I've been doing since 1996. And I teach a lot, I do a lot of good stuff for my community. Right now I got a job offer with my band that I could do land use study. Supposed to be starting yesterday, Monday, but I want to come over here because I want to learn more what other people do. I could bring it back to my community and talk to them. My elders, they give me a lot of wisdom. They really love me. I depend on one elder that's my mom, because she grew up like my mom is not from Halfway, she's from Crawford River. My great grandpa's from Crawford. And ever since mom moved to Halfway with my dad, this elder they're looking after each other. Wherever they go, they're together. So since mom died, I just depend on her as my mom. And she had a lot of good stories she tells me. She always have a good dreams, and she tells me when I walk by her house, she could call me and I could stop by her and she tell me her dreams. And she tells me what she dream about. Some of the dreams she had it come true. And I really believe in her because of her dream. The other elders too, they're really wise, and they give us a lot of. Yesterday when that one elder made a speech, I just want to my community, those children try to say that, but I told them they can't. They can't say this is 1999. You can't say that because one of these days we're going to have a hard time like the way I grew up. And that's why we're teaching our kids too. We're all learning together. The families, our kids, our teachers, and our staffs.
Are the younger people being receptive to learning?
Yeah.
They are.
They are. I feed my grandkids. My oldest granddaughter is 8, and once when we have powwow in 97, I think I made the sap for her, and she will really love it. And I told her this is the one your grandma used to feed me when I was like your age. this is my fruit those days. Like there wasn't hardly any stores those days. So she was really surprised, and she wants to eat more. Like I fed them what the plant is good for them, like rhubarb and sap and make tea and all those mint and those mesquite tea. I give it to my granddaughters.
What do you feel about the environment, the way it's being
It's
treated?
really, I had a lot of concern. I've been wanting to get this, like the job, the land use job, so I could go on top of those environment people, because they've been spraying our area where we pick berries for our kids, our elders, where they just damaging everything in our area, our trap lines, and damaging everything. They get money, but us, we got nothing. And I had a lot of concern about that. Same with my grandkids. They
Sure.
always talk about, I want them to have, like, learn about what those white people doing to our trap lines. It's really sad to see, like, they're killing a lot of little animals that use those berries, water, fish, all this stuff. So
Does it look promising that you can make an impact? Yep. Some nice birdies, huh?
Thanks, sir.
Okay, sure. So do you believe you'll be able to make an impact with the land use management people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm willing to do that because it pisses me off. Like, it's pretty sad to see, like, lots of trap line been damages in our area. Across from our community where we go camping every year, taking our elders to camp, they try to lock the place, but we wouldn't let them go in there. They did went in there, but my brother is a chief, and all the other chiefs got together and they chased those people away from there, and they never touch it now. They took us to court. We won it. My brother went to court in Vancouver, and largest, all there's 7 bands in Fort St. John areas. All the 6 chiefs support us for that land where we use. That's a good hunting area, closer to our community for our elders. Our elders had a lot of, they really love it in there. Because ever since we moved to halfway from Chawadi, that's where we always go.
What do you think
Hunting
about?
and
Go ahead.
getting plants and stuff.
What do you think about this conference with the elders?
It's really great. It's really great to see. This is my second conference I went to. I went to Nanaimo in '97 with 3D that time. 3D paid everything for transportation. I learned lots from there too. I met a lot of good people there. Seemed concerned everybody got it. To me.
You said you started studying medicine more in '96. Why was that?
Because I want to learn. I want to teach. I want to go back to those medicine, because when doctor give a lot of people suffering with their arthritis and stuff, they go see, like my sister, she go to see doctor, give her pills. That doesn't help. Now I could make her some kind of medicine for her. Maybe that will help her get better.
What were you doing before 1996 as far as work or?
I was living in my community, helping out here and there. Now I had a full-time job. I'm really glad I got a job to support. I don't know how many people went to interview, but they picked me. So that was really great for me to have that job now.
A big life change for you.
Yeah.
Are there
Like
other
I've been sober up since '84. 16 years I've been sober.
That's great. That's
Because I
excellent.
used to be recovering alcohol. What I done was I moved from my reserve to Aklai Lake. That's where I got my sobriety.
Just
For
to
a
get-
long time, like 70s. I want to sober up, but too many friends on reserve. They call me like Jesus and stuff. That's when I get pissed off. I just start drinking again. But ever since I moved to Alkali, I just forget it. I've been involved with we had a healing society, like a treatment. I'm one of the board member for that. My meeting is today. No, I'm not there. That's okay. Someone will be there for me.
Are there any other people in your community who are doing natural medicine?
Yeah, my sister. My sister Rosie, Bella. There's lots of us getting into there. But the other people are like, they're shy to speak up in front of people. I was there too once, but I shouldn't be shy of who I am. That's how God made me. So I just changed myself around and start speaking up for my kids, my grandkids, because they're the one is my generations. I'm involved with education committee. I don't know how many years.
So any advice to the the younger generation that you're trying to work with?
Our generations are really good. They want to learn, especially the boys. They want to learn about hunting, and every coming fall, we took like before end of August, first week of September, we always took our students to camp so they could learn about killing moose and skinning, and the girls will learn about making dry meat. We do everything together. Like they don't only depend on me or the elders. We all work together. And lots of other bands can't believe it that we're doing this to ourselves. Like we're the only one band. Like we're living in the isolation community, and it's really good because we didn't. Right now there's a problem with alcohol and drugs, but what can we do? We can't do anything about that.
Right.
But as long as like me, my sister, and other people who are sober could do what we could do
That's great.
to teach our kids and our grandkids. That is my grateful for being here to learn more from other elders. South and here.
That's great. Good enough?
Yeah.
If you can spell it, be good. Okay.
I'll spell it for you.
Okay. And just say which nation you're from, which tribe.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's okay. Anytime.
Okay, my name is Maisie Mary Medici. I'm a Beaver. I'm from Halfway River First Nation, Beaver Nations.
Okay.
My name is Virginia Alexander, and I'm from the Nagazli First Nations. That's Port St. James. My clan is the Caribou.
Okay. And what is your position within your
The-
tribe?
Right now, I am a band counselor. I will be starting in September. This will be my third or fourth term. And I'm also the vice president of the Elder Society. We have a large society in Fort St. James. And I also serve as the board district vice president for the Indian homemakers that are situated, which is situated in Vancouver. We do a lot of work. I don't know, I do a lot of traveling for our people, and I do speak a lot for my people. And I've been doing this, some volunteer work too, for about 30 years or so.
What is the Elder Society all about?
It's a registered society. We formed that about 8 or 9 years ago. And it's a society, you know, like we are registered under the Societies Act. And we do things like we run our bingos and we raise funds. So we have our own bus, and we also have a van. And once a year we go traveling. This year we're going to Kamloops for the elders gathering, and last year we had it in Prince George. So we take the elders and you know, we provide for them, and we do a lot of things like by raising funds, our own funds. We have walk-in bingos, we have bake sales every Saturday, and at Christmas we have a big Christmas dinner, and we invite the street people, buy them gifts. We don't, and we help in every way that we could.
As far as your knowledge of medicine and teaching of medicine, could you just describe your thoughts on that and your beliefs?
Well, I think I really believe in the Indian medicine because during the month of May I was taken very ill, and I was in a hospital at Stewart Lake in Fort St. James. And when I came out, there was an elder that made me some medicine, and I drank that. And I'm supposed to be getting some more from him. Myself, I don't make it, but I believe in it. Like I said yesterday, my grandson makes it. And he has to go quite a ways to get the medicine. I've seen them making it, and I know about the Hudson's Bay tea, they call that. We drink that all the time. I had some last night when I got home because I was pretty tired. And I think gradually, you know, in the future, that's all we will be taking. Because our elders, especially my mother, has told me about this. Because, you know, when she was 9 years old, she was on the trap lines with her grandfather, and that's when she learned how to trap. She never went to school, and she told me that her grandfather had, you know, when they have these bladder problems, and he was walking all night long. So my grandmother, she went into the canoe, and there's a lake as big as this. My mother was. She told my mom. She says, "Your grandfather is very ill, and I have to make him some medicine. Like he couldn't pass water. His stomach was all bloated up. So she made this medicine in Korea. They say hoch dai, but then it's scouring rush is the name of that in the English way. So she went across the lake to get this in the middle of the night. Can you imagine? And she came back with a whole bunch of this stuff, those branches. And Mom said that she was watching her. She had the fire going all night, and she was boiling this. Well, she strained it, and when she had it cool, she cooled it off and she strained it. And she said she gave a big cup to my grandfather. Well, within an hour, his water broke. And they're still using that now. Can you imagine? This was in the early 20s, when Mom was only about 9 years old. And she talks about that. She did a lot of trapping. My mother did. And never went to school.
What do you think about the future of your people and being knowledgeable and learning the tradition of the medicine? And does it look promising?
Well, according to what I hear yesterday, it's very disturbing to hear that that they are not going to let us, that they are on Crown land if we do this. They said this, somebody, I don't know if it's rumors or what, this is what we were hearing yesterday, that the government is really going to, really is coming after us for that, I don't know. But I think it's, you know, like our people will fight for that, what's theirs. It is theirs. They've lived on that all these years for generations. And look at that, with our people have taught the non-native people, you know, about these medicines too, and some of them are using it and drinking it now. It's most of our customs, you know.
Right. You have a question?
If you could just tell me some stories about the other people.
Well, Betsy Leon, the lady that was sitting beside me, she's my special friend. Her and I do a lot of work together with the Elder Society. She does a lot of medicines, but she has to go to the mountains to get that. She's made me medicine before, and it's very good. There are others, a lot of elders up that way and towards the next village. I think in every village they make them.
And how does it work with when you have somebody who's making medicine in a village and they're known to make medicine? Do other people in the village support them and bring them food, or how does somebody make a living if they're?
You know, like in our tradition, for my tradition, like when they make us medicine, we're not supposed to pay them. They don't want any pay for that, because you know that comes from the land. Anything that you take from the land, you have to put something back. That's what I was taught anyway. Like now, some people are putting tobacco back in there, in the land. I was always taught that.
So
You know, there's so much, you know, to our traditions. I don't know. It'll take forever to talk about it, because I've learned all these things from my mother. For myself, you know, like I've known about the medicines, but you know, like for 40 years, I was working for the non-native people, and I never had a chance to really go out and trap and hunt like the other people, because I was busy supporting my small family. And you know, like I didn't quit work until 1982, cleaning houses in Fort St. James, 40 years. And now I've got a homemaker that comes in and do my work. But yeah, up until I didn't learn how to make dry meat and dry salmon until I still cannot cut the salmon very good. My mother used to do all that. And now when my sons get the meat in, I have to get help and get somebody to help me. But I know how to cut the meat. I know how to can the meat and the fish.
So do you think there's going to be a rebirth of those traditions in your community?
I think so, because we are trying to tell the young people now to really get prepared for the future. And some of them are not listening to us. I speak to everybody that I see back home, you know, to gather the berries, we can them. It seemed like now, I went to Overweighty the other day and I got some raspberries and I froze them. Whereas before we used to go to the bush. But the way things are going with all the logging and everything, we never see any raspberries anywhere, all our berry patches. The only thing that we get now is the huckleberries. Somebody said they were already ripening. We'll be picking them pretty soon. Those ones.
How do you feel when you see a lot of First Nations are signing contracts with logging companies?
Well, you know, that's another thing too. My son has 4 logging trucks, and in the winter they haul logs, and I don't like to see clear cutting, but still, you know, for some of us, you know, the way we feel like it's a job. It's a job for people. Some of them don't have any work. Right now, they're not. His trucks are just sitting there. They're not working. So when somebody asked me to write about our logging last week in Stelaco, I wouldn't do it. And she says to me, "Why?" I said, "Because my son is a trucker and he has logging trucks and it's their work. And in the winter, they haul logs, and I don't like to see clear cutting, but still, you know, for some of us, you know, the way we feel like it's a job. It's a job for people. Some of them don't have any work. Right now, they're not. His trucks are just sitting there. They're not working." So when somebody asked me to write about our logging last week in Stelaco, I wouldn't do it. And she says to me, "Why?" I said, "Because my son is a trucker and he has logging trucks and it's their work."
So what's the solution?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That's what I like to know. If my other native brothers and sisters hear this, I don't know what they'll say. But I would say that some of the trees have to be left alone. Like, you know, the birch and all those trees, they should be left. They shouldn't be cut down. Like I seen something that made me feel sad is from Prince George. I see them, these poplar trees. They're starting to cut those ones down too, which they never did before. So I'm wondering just what's going on.
And just have you state your name again and what tribe you're with, what nation you're with, and that'll do it.
Virginia Alexander, and I'm with the Nagasley First Nations at Fort St. James.
Actually, one more question.
Yeah.
What's your feeling on the conference with the elders?
That's very interesting. I really like that, and I think when a bunch of elders get together, we feel like we're at home. Like we go to the park in Fort St. James, you know, it's 5 elders, we go once a month. And then we get together, and these young people like yourself, you know, they're from other towns, and they were so interested to listen to us speak. You know, they didn't want us to go, but we're going to be going back there again the end of the second week in July, in August. But I love this conference. It made me feel really good because I'm used to going to a mixed conference, say, but when there's elders alone there, we don't feel shy to speak to each other. You know, can speak our language. Whereas in a big conference, I mostly have to speak English, but we still speak our language.
And your language is?
Carrier. Mm-hmm.
And in the native tongue, how do you say your language? Is it
Negani.
Negoni?
Yeah, Negani.
Okay.
That's our language.
Can you say your name in Negoni?
It's hard to say.
Is it? Try it.
Oh, gee,
You
I
need
don't
some
know.
practice.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Everybody calls me Virgie.
Virgie, okay.
Yeah, they call me that.
What can we have you say in Carrier? Just wish people, you know, the best of luck and health. Can you say something like that?
Like we say, Suindo is, how are you? And Masi is thank you. And, you know, like it's pretty hard to say we wish you well. In, you know, like our words are very complicated, and it's hard. Like right now we're in the Stony Creek Reserve, and we have it's a different dialect. You go to Fort St. James and listen to speak, you'll find the difference. And if we go to Burns Lake, there's a dialect, and we go to Natle, it's more like that.
Wow.
And yet it's all Carrier language.
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to teach my little great grandson. He's 3 years old. He's counting to 5. Last night I was teaching him in my language.
And is that pretty receptive with the young people to carry on the tradition of speaking their native language?
Mm-hmm. Very, very few of them speak it. I'm really surprised, but last week at Stelaco, and I heard the young chief and the chief from Lake Babin. They were speaking their language. She translated. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All set? Great.
What
Thank you,
we can
Virgie.
say in when you say we wish you well, naste suonde. That means in the future I hope you do well.
Say that one more time.
Naste suonde la. Mm-hmm.